I was unaware until my partner looked into it for me that courses like this existed. I think if you're already interested in furniture or fine craft, you'll be aware of these courses because you'll be looking for them. Whereas if you're somebody who has an interest but hasn't particularly had experience in craft work before, you may not even be aware that courses like this exist.
I first got interested in furniture design because I knew I really enjoyed doing practical things and wanted to just marry that up with doing something creative.
As part of my work, I like exploring other materials. I like looking at materials that you wouldn't necessarily think would ordinarily be paired with domestic furniture or timber. I think one thing that the industry could do, or one thing that would be more relatable, is if we had younger furniture makers, furniture designer makers come in to do talks and maybe say how they started their business, what they did after they graduated.
One of the main issues I think for a lot of craftspeople and designers as a whole, not just in furniture, is sort of bridging that gap between leaving education and going into being self-employed and starting a business.
People we have who come in and give talks, they graduated a fair amount of time ago, and the time they were starting up their business is very different to now. Whereas people like Sebastian Cox, you can relate to a lot more because he's young and he's taken the industry by storm. Everyone's talking about him at the moment, and he's a young furniture maker. So maybe more people like that would really be helpful and would be inspiring. I went to a talk recently, and there was a guy there who is a well-established furniture designer maker, and he was saying how when he started out he managed to buy a showroom in Chelsea for £100,000, which today is just not relatable, and for someone who's recently graduated, they're never going to be able to do that.
The experience I've had with industry so far throughout the course has been various visits to workshops and various design studios, which has been great to gain some insight into how it works in the real world, to make some contacts. And also we just had a great day where some employers came in just to meet the students, just to give us the opportunity to try and get some work experience or some jobs potentially.
I think if schools could be aware of what options there were further ahead in education, then that could be passed on to students who they realise have that inclination.
Hopefully you see more courses like the one I'm on opening up rather than closing down, because it's definitely a really valuable part of the industry, and also a shame if British manufacturing, dies out and there's no one left with skills.
One word that would sum up design for me would be challenge, because design is all about overcoming the obstacles or answering a necessity. My one word for craft would be skill.
Well, one word to describe craft would be human, and that would be because I just think craft is a very human thing. I realise that sounds a little cheesy, but it's all about the hands-on experience. When you pick up a crafted item and you can see that someone's taken the time to make a series of marks or sculpt something, you really know that someone's hands made that.
One word that sums up design for me is probably exploration. I think design is all about, for me, exploring different ways you could achieve something and pushing the boundaries.
My name's Jan Waterston.
My name's Charlie.
I'm Rosie Salt.